Hi guys, welcome back. I hope your June holidays is going swimmingly for you. Today we will be looking at how governments can use subsidies as a method to intervene in the free market when there is market failure arising due to positive externalities. Okay, let's begin. So as usual, we will look at the free market equilibrium. The free market will consume or produce at QF, where MPB equals to MPC. Now, when there's the presence of positive externalities, the marginal private benefit that is enjoyed by the private individual is actually different from the marginal social benefit that's enjoyed by the entire society, since the consumption or the production of this good actually generates positive externalities that benefits third parties as well. So MSB will exceed MPB at all levels of output as such. And the socially efficient quantity is actually at where MSB equals to MSC at QS. So what this means is that if society's welfare were to be maximized, the consumption or production of this good should take place at QS. But in the absence of government intervention, the free market only consumes or produces at QF. What this means is that too little consumption or production is taking place, and as a result, there is a deadweight loss that has occurred. Society's welfare could have been maximized if consumption or production is taking place at QS, but it is not. So this net benefit that could have been enjoyed is lost in the form of a deadweight loss. So in this case, what can the government do to motivate consumers or producers to consume or produce at the correct quantity? One method is actually through a subsidy. In this case, the government can subsidize an amount that's equivalent to the marginal external benefit that's generated at QS. So again, now I need you to look at the screen very carefully. The subsidy will actually lower the marginal private cost. That's right. The subsidy, like a tax, affects the marginal private cost, not the marginal private benefit. This is the most common mistake that students make when they want to illustrate the effects of a subsidy. A subsidy will shift the MPC curve, not the MPB curve. So in this case, the subsidy lowers the MPC by this amount. If the subsidy is equivalent to the MEB at QS, the MPC will now be lowered to MPC plus subsidy. So in this case, with this subsidy implemented by the government, this will reduce the marginal private cost to MPC plus subsidy and force the individual to internalize the positive externality in his decision making. So what this means is, when the individual makes a decision about how much to consume or how much to produce, the individual, because of the subsidy, will take into account the positive externality that he generates. So this individual will maximize his net private benefit at MPC plus subsidy equals to MPB and consume or produce at QS. Now, if the example or the positive externalities that we are looking at is generated from the consumption of a good, so for example, the consumption of education perhaps, for example, when you attend school and you learn new things and you go home and you share it with your siblings or share it with your friends who have not paid for your education, they are the third parties who benefit from your consumption of education. In this case, the explanation on the screen will need to be from the consumer's point of view. But if the positive externalities is generated from the production of a particular good, so for example, the production of R&D, research and development. So the production of R&D sometimes will benefit other firms who have not paid for the R&D. So in this case, the example, or rather the explanation will need to be from the producer's point of view as such. So when do we use this diagram? We use this diagram when we are trying to explain how the government can intervene in the market when there is market failure due to the presence of positive externalities. Now, you need to remember that subsidies is just one method the government can use to intervene in a market. There are other methods such as direct provision or joint provision that the government can choose to use depending on the circumstance. In the next video, we will look at how we illustrate the effects of direct provision. I will see you in the next video.